Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Thomas. This is Just a Human, and welcome back to Medieval 2 Total War, where today we have ourselves the grand finale of this most magnificent campaign. Yes, we are now descending upon Tenochtitlan, and it's Shalua today, Shalula, whatever it is, however you pronounce it. We will rename it if we feel need be, damn it. But it has been a long, long campaign. Back in the early turns, taking out Scotland, outmaneuvering Russia in magnificent fashion, and the sudden and amazing destruction of France and Hungary pretty early on as well. We ate up most of Europe in about 15 turns, didn't we? It was ridiculous. We took a bit of time to finish off Italy and the little peoples in Spain, but in the end, El Cid, the Honourable, managed to do that job with great, great honour, and actually the Moorish lads who joined his side finished off the Spanish and the Portuguese, as you might expect. Actually, Spartacus, our great hero, finished off the Spanish, I believe, over here in Toledo. So he deserves a good nod, as he also fought out in the east against the Mongols. The Mongols who really irritated me, to be honest, but the Timurids who we absolutely annihilated in spectacular fashion over here. That was glorious. But now we have our final few battles. These there's a lot of them, but it's not exactly difficult per se because you're so technologically advanced. Getting in the city is a bit awkward, but you know what, we're going to head into this city here and we're going to clear out Cholula so that we can head on and go and grab this chocolate and this gold and this lovely, lovely tobacco right here. So we're going to head into Cholula. Which of the two armies do I want? We've got this one and this one. Well, this one, well, whatever. We'll head in with this, and hopefully the walls will work properly this time. Standard kind of army. I much prefer facing them out in the field. It's a lot more fun. In fact, you'll notice I almost never actually fight them in cities like this. But I suppose I have to on this occasion. Does he have the same sort of things as the others? He doesn't actually. Slightly different. He's a terrible, horrible human being, though, like most of these guys seem to be. We are honestly doing them a favour. We are bringing the anarchy to them. And you can just be controlled by the AI. Let's head in.
And so let's be about our tasks. I would dine, and battle gives me a powerful appetite. I invite a goodly number of you to join me at table later.
A goodly number indeed, sir. Magnificent speech there. And let us head in. It's very much the same sort of approach, except for, yeah, last time we were approaching from that side of the city. So, which don't makes too much difference today. It's probably a bit of a wiggle and a wangle around. Actually, if anything, this is a bit more awkward to get around to the plaza, isn't it? Now, I know that there are plenty of these pyramids out in the sort of like, you know, ancient Americas, but I felt I say they overdone it here. It feels a little bit overdone, doesn't it? But in all honesty, I don't know. I don't know what else. It gives the right feel, I suppose. I won't criticise it. I do love the fact that this is only a tiny bit at the end of the game, and they seem to put quite a lot of work and effort into it. So I shall not complain. In fairness, it is quite magnificent, and the music. The music is so grand at this. Honestly, it's an unexpected touch. I've been so long since I've actually played this part of the campaign. The music just really surprised me how interesting it was, and really sets the right mood. And honestly, that's one of the things that particularly this era of Total War got so right. And Total War, generally speaking, is very it makes the right musical choice, because it was Jeff Van Dyke on Rome Total War Medieval to Total War. I think it was different in Empire, different composer, but he really got the feel for, particularly in Rome. I think in Medieval, I think there's a few complaints people have in terms of. I think a lot of people prefer the darkness, the pure darkness of the original Medieval Total War. Now, I never actually played that, and I think it's difficult, isn't it, to go back to an earlier version of a game, or sort of an earlier. What's the right word? Just an earlier. Well, let's just say an earlier version of the game, but you know what I mean. Yeah, it can be difficult to do that, so I've never really gone back and played that myself. But I would say that, to me, I felt like the music in Medieval 2 is pretty good, albeit it's a little bit dark. It's not quite as fun and silly most of the time as the Rome stuff, which doesn't quite have that same impact for me. But that's just my nostalgia, personally, I think. I do love Medieval 2. It is marvellous. But I don't know, I'd probably just marginally go for Rome if I were to be picky. But you know what? They're both two of my absolute favourite and most played games of all time, as you can probably assume from these videos here. And yeah, it's been so long since I've got to the Americas. It is great just to hear how bonkers the music is. It really sets the atmosphere, as you would hope. Right, we're going to head in. We're probably going to have the same problems as last time. You guys can run. You guys can run. And you lads... There we are. I didn't quite know which bit of the word wanted me to click on there. But we can head in. Now, these guys are very weak defensively. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with them. These spear lads can go over here. And we'll see where we get to be honest, because we do have plenty of allies at the other gates. Have a little look how they're getting on. Yeah. See, they have plenty of equipment as well, but they have less troops to fight, I think. Certainly looks that way anyway. You might notice today that, or I've noticed in absence, that there is no more silly squeaking off the chair, or minimal squeaking off the chair, because I have bought myself a new chair, which means that every time I move it doesn't squeak. I think I mentioned this in this week's Star Trek Armada 2 episode, but I think this one comes out the day before, or yeah, so... Oh no, the round didn't quite make it! That's a big shame, because if the gates go stupid, I've got no way of getting in. Right, well, you lads, run back, it's fine. Right, hopefully the towers will work properly today. It looks like we're going to have to win on this side of things.
Our enemy has nowhere to hide now.
Yep, indeed, they have nowhere to hide. Now, they have someone down there, so this is what I did before, which, I get it, they're by the tower, but they're not... If we're up here, surely that should bypass them being standing there to activate the tower. It seems a bit odd to me.
Walls are no match for valor and force of arms.
Either way, if we can get enough of our troops up there, we should be able to overwhelm them. Right, these lads are up here now. In fact, honestly, you lads, get yourselves over this way. I'm not interested in those lads over there. These guys are routing, obviously, because you can never assault a wall on this game. It's something that I never do out of choice. It's why I very rarely attack in siege battles. I do it on small scale units. Obviously, you saw that a lot earlier in the campaign, where I just chopped down lots and lots of forces. Particularly just shooting them from the walls, which happened quite often. Yeah, I don't know what the traditional music around here realistically would be. I know Incan, you kind of think of pan flutes a lot. I don't know if that's, you know, would be strictly accurate across the Americas or not, but there we are. Who knows, eh? So let's get these crossbowmen up here. And these guys up here. We're going to try and get ourselves down the wall. Aha! Well, our allies haven't had it burnt down because of, obviously, that's how the world works on this game. So, I assume at this point everyone's given up. No, these guys have actually... Alright, they're up here by themselves. That's interesting. Can we actually capture this tower then? Because I was really upset about the towers last time, and it kind of felt buggy. It's one thing when they're standing at the bottom and it was a bit silly, but yeah.
If we remain true and wholehearted, victory.
Okay, so we've got both of these units heading straight into them. I don't think they like it. We are far more heavily armoured than them. These are the Eagle Warriors. So we've actually really looked at their troops. These are, yeah, these are a bit like, I think what they're called now, the Portuguese knights. They have their big heavy weapons, so they're all attack and little on defence, as opposed to dismounted feudal knights, which are kind of the opposite, aren't they? More defence. These guys, they're routing, both rout. Brilliant. We can't even win over here. Oh, no, they're not routing, it's just the flag. Okay, that's fine.
Our soldiers have proved their worth today. The enemy's walls belong to
no,
us
that's
now.
them. Can you please run through here, because I need to see that the tap... Yeah, I just can't take over these towers. It's ridiculous. I'm not allowed to. I'm just going to let my allies do it again. This is really irritating, because I should be able to win these. These battles should be mine. Okay, you lads, get yourselves there. You lads, get yourselves there. And crossbowmen, once you are in position, honestly, you can start to take some shots. We're okay over here, because we have enough troops to be able to overwhelm them. These are Jaguar Warriors as well. So they're running into battle. Our lads just look so dull compared, don't they? Look at those outfits. That's just beautiful. Looks just like a New Year's Eve party where once I dressed just like that. It was just magnificent. Ah, days. Those were the days, eh? Right, I think it was just as a caveman actually, but I had like a leopard print throw for the bed, which I think I still have actually. Now, the bodyguard's actually over here, kicking us out. That's just perfect. Apparently they are shooting, but I doubt they've managed to do anything. Honestly, I'm just going to start paying attention over here because this is the only area that I'm doing anything useful at. Can I get these lads down here as well? Honestly, you might as well swing yourself actually into some sort of position because at this point, we're not going to get anywhere. I'm pretty sure our allies are probably like in the centre, but yeah, obviously our allies are pretty much taking the city because they've put all their strength in front of me and the towers are just being awkward. I don't know why they're being so awkward. I understand if they stand there, they have some control, but if we're on the tower, surely we should take precedent. I don't know. Anyway, crossbows have themselves positioned up here now. And that should be doing a lot of damage to these guys. They have no defense against crossbows. I mean, even when they're just falling from the sky, they're not much they can do at all. Yeah, it's very interesting because obviously in this part of the world, obviously there are no horses for that speed of travel, which we have, or we had in, you know, Eurasia. And actually, and obviously they hadn't actually invented the wheel here either. So everything was run by people. You know, messages were sent by that. I can't think what they're called. The Chasquis in the Inca Empire. Anyway, you know, running messages person by person to little rest stops. A bit like the Mongol postal system, I suppose. But obviously, instead of horses, they were just men running, which is kind of mad when you think about it. But there we are. We'll shoot these guys in the back. And yeah, obviously they had like llamas and alpacas and other creatures such as that, but they did not have anything like the labour force that we had. You know, they didn't have like the cattle for it. Obviously, they had big buffalo and things, but not domesticated animals quite like we had in Eurasia.
They have lost half their men.
And it is one of those interesting questions, isn't it? Like, why was it the Americans got invaded by the Europeans and not the other way around? And I think if you haven't read if you're interested in that kind of thing, if you haven't read Jared Diamond's Guns, Germs and Steel, it might be the other way around, those words. But it's quite interesting in terms of giving you an actual theoretical reason why that might be the case. Alright, messenger man. He won't be quiet. Trying to give a historical speech here, damn it. But yes, you do find some interesting theories with regards to that. I think the idea was that there were so many domesticated animals in Eurasia because it's east to west, isn't it? So things, technology, animals, plants could all spread. You know, their domestication could spread across the continents of Eurasia far more easily than it could in the Americas, where, you know, they didn't have the wheel down in the Inca Empire, for example. And there are certain technologies that they'd have in the north that they wouldn't have in the south, or vice versa. I can't think of examples off my head because this is just a bit of a off-the-cuff rant. But it's not a rant. I'm not angry about anything. Pick your words better, Thomas. But yes, no. Jared Diamond's Guns, Germs and Steel talks all about this and kind of explains why it is that, you know, realistically the chances were always going to be in the favour of the Eurasians simply because of that sheer mass of domesticatable animals. You know, there was more labour power. I think it was there was an idea in the ancient world that, you know, there was about, basically the technology meant you could get a 10% surplus. So 10% of the world, 10% of people could actually sort of live off other people's farming and all that. I think it was like Wrigley's suggestion of like 10% or something. That's what I remember from my undergrad or something anyway. I remember referencing that all the time. But obviously without like powerful plough animals that they didn't have here in the Americas, everything was so much more down to, you know, individual manpower. And I guess it just left them so much weaker when it came to that development because they just could not keep up the progress in the same way that the Eurasians could. But I don't know, it's an interesting one. They didn't have iron tools or anything like that. It's just intriguing how the winds of history develop. I'm contributing nothing to this battle, by the way. It's just my allies at this point. But it lets me have this little discussion. These lads are only strolling along anyway. We're 50 odd seconds from victory, so all is fine. They're kind of holding them off back here. I probably should come in and help. You know what? Yeah, go in and run in, lads. These lads can run as well. Are you the guys on the wall? No, you're not. That's probably you lads here because you've taken a knock or two. But yes, obviously biological warfare was a huge part of it in the end. I say warfare as if it was intended. It almost certainly wasn't. But yeah, just down to the sheer amount of domesticated animals. Most of these most of those plagues through history were caused through humans' close connection with other animals, and those pathogens passing from animals to humans from close proximity. And they didn't have as much of that in the Americas than we did in Europe, so obviously they just could not deal with things like smallpox when it turned up. There was plenty of tropical diseases that Europeans couldn't deal with, but I guess it was just, yeah, it just worked out. There were too many things in favour of the Eurasians in the history of who was going to succeed. But I think that was one of the things I loved about Empire Total War. I haven't really talked about Empire Total War in here. Because I adored this and Rome Total War, and I never really enjoyed Empire that much. Well, not originally anyway. But through time, one of the things I really loved when I first started playing was things like the Martha Confederacy after, in India after the end of the the Mughal Empire, and just how much when you play that game, you can end up flipping it on its head, and it can end up being the Indians who end up colonising Europe. And actually, I'm not sure there are many time lapses of that around, but I remember playing Empire Total War. Quite often the Martha Confederacy would end up just controlling Corsica and Sardinia and Cyprus, and they'd end up just taking over tons of the waterways of Europe. It was brilliant, and I always enjoyed that. It was a nice flip on its head. Obviously, when you played the expansion for this, that doesn't really. It's just impossible, isn't it? Like, the New Spain is way too strong. More and more armies just keep turning up. But I guess it's what is it? I think Data says it in Star Trek at some point. It's not. It's something to do with the fact that it's not about whether you win or lose or you succeed or etc. It's about trying. And I suppose from like an AI point of view, such as Data, who's sort of an android kind of creature. It's quite an interesting thing. To be human is to try, whether or not you win or lose. It's the talk of losers there. We're going to kill them all. They won't get that opportunity. I'm going to speed this up now because, honestly, I haven't researched enough to talk for you too much longer. But I know about the Chasquis, which are Incan and not actually anything to do with the Aztecs. But there we are. Probably had a similar system around here, I imagine. We have a gateway! The game has actually allowed us to control a gateway. Right, all Cav, get in the city! In fact, all units just run to the centre at this point. It's going to be brilliant. Everybody, run! All units! Dun 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 da dee 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 dee. Oh, they're just so colourful. They're just having a good stretch. It's been a long old battle. Need a massage after this, those guys. That was funny. Is that my lads coming in? It is my lads! Woohoo! The Ginate have made it. I think it's only fair that these lads, the Iberian lads, get to come in and kill the Aztecs. It's just the right way around, isn't it? And ignore the fact that there are Mamelukes over here. Here we go. There we are. I actually will get to win this battle for myself because my allies have, well, they've not fluffed it, but they've done an awful lot of damage themselves and not quite managed to win. Dun 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 dun. This guy does not want to die, does he? Yeah, 7 bodyguard. They're fighting to last. Noble fighters here. Magnificence. Ooh, arrow in the back, but it keeps fighting. No. They go down to the last. It's sad that I can't set dogs on them or anything like that. I'd love to set the dogs on them. I suppose I'm already setting elephants on them. Oh yeah, these are all my allies. They're the mercenaries. I was like, why? Oh, that actually might just be hired from my cities. Here we are, clear victory. Clear. I suppose it was clear in the end, but it was certainly annoying. Is that what we're going to get in Tenochtitlan as well? Most probably, but we'll have elephant cannons for that. Okie pokey. And there we are, that's Cholula.
The day is ours.
And why are we letting Frenchmen do this? Why are we letting the Frenchmen do it? Right, these guys are disbanded because they weren't particularly helpful. And I'm going to keep the cav, but otherwise I'm likewise just going to disband them all. Because honestly, the anarchy is now free to move on with their life. Okay, we'll end our turn and we will see what is left for us next time. Actually, no, we've got a bit of movement power here. Ooh, near the chocolate. I would like to face them properly here, so I'm going to do a bit of merging. Oh, let's see if we can get the experience. There we go. These guys just go away. And we'll get some infantry in to help us out. Oh yeah, the 3 men-at-arms stuff. That'd be grand. Yeah, often there are some really interesting units you can use at the end of the game, which you just don't get to see very much in Medieval 2, obviously. But at the end of the day, I suppose it's not, you know, I don't get to use them as the rebels anyway, so I'll have to get on a normal campaign. I do have some ideas, by the way, for once we're done with this campaign. Obviously, Barbarian Invasion will come back. I need to finish that one off. But I was thinking of perhaps one of the expansions for Medieval 2. I was looking at playing Armenia on Rome because obviously I did my little game about Armenia, and I very much enjoy playing as them. So I thought that might be a good campaign to do. But I don't know. For now, we'll probably start a new Medieval 2 and a Barbarian Invasion. Pokemon's also coming to an end, so we've got quite a few at the same time coming to an end. We'll have to see if there's space for Rome as well. I am a full-time teacher, so it's a fair amount already. I enjoy making it, but I don't want any more to overdo my workload because it's plenty enough as it is. But this is just really quite fun to do. Right, I was just going to get a quick show around the Empire. You've got some really, really high money-making cities around here. Sofia surprised me. I didn't realise this was such a good money-maker. But I think the top is Antioch. I've had a good look around, and Antioch is definitely top. You can certainly do better than some of these cities are getting, I think. But this is certainly what we've got. We're a bit late to the infrastructure party, so a lot of these are lacking in the infrastructure that they need to be truly, truly making the monies. You see, this is only a large city. It's not a huge city at this point. But you know what? It's not the end of the world. We've got some lovely, lovely things. One thing I was about to say, actually, one thing I really miss from Rome Total War is that they've got rid of the come look at the city thing. One of the brilliant features. Come have a look at the city, zoom in, walk around the town. I think I might do that on my stroll around of the rebels on Rome Total War, my last couple of epilogues. I'm going to have to go and do that. That would be lovely. Actually, yeah, these guys, we are ambushed. I could see them. Let's just withdraw remote. Oh, that counts as defeat. Okay, fine, whatever. I just didn't want to... Whatever. It's fine. We will go and deal with them next turn then. I just kind of wanted to take the battle on my own terms, at least set myself up. Oh well, went our turn again very quickly. There are a few heretics wandering and I've given up on those guys now. Papal states still exist. They don't have any troops. There's no pope, but they exist. Lots of plague still going on. Ooh, money from the council. That's just wonderful. Okay, I'm not really worried about these upgrades anymore, but faction announcement might be interesting. No one dead. Not really. Okay, well let's get into this, lad, because honestly, these guys are awfully fun to kill. Simon So the Profane again. He's a cunning ambusher, but he failed to ambush me. That is kind of sad for you. I read that as Renaissance expert. Reconnaissance expert. Waiting, so he's got the morale, he's got the health, and he's got the morale again. Yeah, so he's got a bit of morale. He's up on 9. Was that 10 morale actually? +3, +2. Yeah, he's on +9 like the other guy. He's got those same stats. All right, well we're going to head in. We're going to play with the elephants. I've got to keep the cannons a bit safer because they're going to need to be ready to take down the city walls. But these elephants, I'm just going to send those guys ploughing in. Let's go. I have turned up the vegetation detail. I noticed it was on really low last episode, so I've whacked that up to full now. So the trees look a little bit better. Graham's still shaking. People still screaming. Mamalik archers shooting them from the sides. No idea what's actually happening in this battle because they're in an awkward position, as ever. But we're just causing some chaos. Ah, lovely treetop view over here. Right, I think we're going to move this main force a bit further close. Further close? We leave the elephants back there, that's fine. But everyone else, get yourself a new group. And let's start moving even closer towards them. And maybe the Ribolts will start to shoot at them. That'll be a bit of fun, won't it? Oh, is he getting up? Oh, he is getting up. You brave, brave fool, you. He's got himself his little paddle and he's gonna slap our faces with it at some point. Fortunately, they seem to be desperate to fight in this forest, which is irritating. I want to take them on properly in the field. Let me have my massive advantage, damn it. Oh, I'm just going to send these cav around the side as we have our fun little music. Where are you two? You're still around this kind of flank as you should be. Just bring yourself over there, that'll be marvellous. And our archers are now in range. Are our Ribolts in range there? Yes! Rocket launchers in range, that's going to have to draw them in, isn't it? Not sure how many shots we can get through all this foliage, but we'll give it a go. They're trying to hide over here. Not sure it's going to work. I wish I was on Warhammer right now where we could kind of chop these trees out of the way. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to send my line into battle at this point. Where are they? Let's just line up right in front of them. Right, we are at this point running through and the elephants have arrived.
Victory will be ours.
Plow those elephants straight through. And here we go, elephants ahoy! Yes, alright, there's one who's dead, but honestly, they can't be happy! Oh, this doesn't get old. That he's stuck behind a small palm there. Lovely, yep, keep chasing these guys down. Oh, that's the bodyguard, is it? Elephant straight into the bodyguard! Yes! Yes! Chunk the bodyguard! Yes! I have no idea what else is happening in this battle, but this is all that matters. Dun dun da 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 da. Oh, they're routing. Come on, go berserk. Don't just rout berserk. Woo! They probably got hit by a cannon or something. Didn't like it. Well, where's my infantry? Where's my infantry? I have no idea what's happening in this darn forest. It's just ridiculous, isn't it? Right, everyone, just kind of get yourself moving forward. At this point, where is our cav? It's over here. Yeah. Right, honestly, infantry, just start heading in. Start going for it, lads. Can I have my missiles? Missiles! Not you, lads. Can I have all my missiles just in kind of this position? No idea what I'm telling anyone to do at this point because no one can see a thing. But I think at this point the cav need to make use of themselves. So, cav and cav. Right, over here we have a huge a huge melee and a huge scrum. God knows it's all under the much better pixelated trees. Where are the Arquebusers? Guys, come and face the battle. Find someone to kill. There we are. Going to shoot the bodyguard. Mamelix, have you managed to do this yet? Ooh! Are they dead? Are they just knocked to the ground? Just knocked to the ground. The cav must be around here. They are around here indeed. Oh, didn't mean to press pause. Elephants, you stay still.
The battle is in our favor.
All the Mamelix in on them. Yes, Mamluks into the general. Now Mamluks aren't the best unit in the world, but they're pretty darn good cavalry, so they should be able to. Bloody Laura! The cannon things just really catch me out. Yeah, here's some more Mamluks. Let's have some of those get into the back of their friends over here. These Jaguar warriors aren't going to like that. Lovely. I think we're losing quite a lot of troops here, but I don't really know or care what's happening. Yeah, a bit of men in the rear here. They're not happy with it. I'm just going to send my elephants in towards this direction. Oh no, these lads are back. Scrap that order, mate. These guys are back. They didn't actually run amok, so they're actually now in battle again. The elephants have come back into the battle, and as they ram into that tree, you'll find... Oh no! Spartacus is dead! No! I just sent him out of that battle. He must have stayed in there like the last guy. We might actually lose this, ladies and gentlemen. We're not supposed to lose our elephants. Come on. Right, where... Right, now he lost the general. I need to be a bit more serious about this now. How did that just happen? Right, whatever I've got... Can we... Oh, I don't even know what's going on in this battle, honestly. Let's kill their general. Killing their general is probably the best bet we've got, I would suggest. The elephants have unrouted right next to the general. Come on! Yes! An elephant-based death for the general. Wow, that just massively flipped it back in our favour again. Now, hopefully that will do what we need it to. Come on, elephants, stay with me. General is completely chopped down at this point. Right, the elephants have to be able to do this job for me. I have no idea what's going on in this battle. It's a massive, chaotic mess in this jungle here. Alright, we've got some of them with our men over here. They are chasing us down. So I managed to find where most of their units are. They're chasing after our routing men, but that's probably not the best idea for them. Because the elephants are on their way to come and turn this around for me. These lads, as long as they're far enough away, should be okay. So they've got a bit of distance. Can we just get the arquebusiers to be really wide out like they probably should be? Now. And elephants, we need you here like now. These lads, where are you, by the way? Are you just sweeping them up? Some of those have regrouped. That's annoying. It's annoying. Right, I've got to focus on these elephants taking out these guys. I think we're managing to do it in terms of knocking these guys out whilst they're chasing us. Any of you going to reform? No, they're chasing us down way too close for that. That is a shame. That is a shame. Alright, elephants, you're just going to need to charge. We just need elephants to charge at this point. Good. Elephants charge should win us the battle at this point. Where are my Mamluks? They are on the scene as well. Guys, get yourself over there. It's all we've got, but I think it's going to work. We've got the elephants. And honestly, I think that's all we're going to need just to get the edge on this. Let's get you three all to be shooting at these guys over here. Elephants should be able to win this for us now. I don't think they're going to hold to that. Both sets of troops have taken way too many casualties.
Seems to be swinging in our favor.
I think that's it. I think we're going to get it here with these Jaguars. I'm just going to pull the elephants out just so they don't go mad. So I want those guys... Right, all units on them.
The battle is in our favor. If we remain true and
elephants keep running.
Victory will be ours.
They're wavering. Let's get a volley in. And we should start to get them surrounded. They are broken. Mamluks go and sweep them up. Who is not broken at this point? Someone, but I don't know who. No idea who. Right. You guys shoot into them. I think we've just about done it. I don't know who's still fighting for them, but it can't. It's only one unit in that forest or something. Here come the elephants to end the battle. This battle has been far more ridiculous than I could have ever envisaged it to be. And that is it. Yes.
We must push our advantage.
Yes, we somehow snuck victory from the jaws of defeat / the victory that we should have had in the first place. But there we are. The forest just made it so difficult for me. When my general threw his life away, well, that kind of really left it virtually at its end. But we're going to mop up the last of these lads. And once we've done that, we can obviously get back to the campaign map. Well, 85% lost, but we've still got elephants, so that's what matters, because obviously these guys wouldn't have escaped if we lost. That would have been it for them, so beautiful. We have our elephants, and we can activate search and destroy.
Victory is ours.
Whew.
Let victory be a salve on our wounds, proudly earned in the name of the Holy Cross.
Yes, the Holy Cross of Anarchy, sir. Yeah, so no experience gained once again. Ridiculous. Right, well, that's that army gone. Pretty much. We'll see what comes back of it.
The day is ours.
There we are. Noble death for Spartacus. Foolish, but noble indeed. Right, we still have some elephants, and that's what matters. We still got some revolts. We'll merge those lads together. Some of those got away. Ridiculous. Right, you guys just plough into him and just kill him. Can't bother to do this properly, so just kill him. And why won't you die?
Moving to engage the enemy. The day
This is just
ours.
stupid. This is what happens when you auto-resolve. God almighty. I think it is something they at least fixed in later games, isn't it?
The day is ours.
Enemy army routes, trait increase. Da, 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 da. I'm surprised those missiles were still here after the battle. Thought they disappeared, but there we are. Right, so Diapus, it turns out it is you. You are the chosen one, even with your drill master. It's not really going to help us in the final battle, but there we are. Well, with 11 turns remaining then, in the year 1508, we shall march into Tenochtitlan here. And of course, this will be the end of it. Once we charge in and once we take the city, the game will take us back to the main menu. So that will be it for this long and beautiful campaign. Montezuma is the man inside. Montezuma II. Tenochtitlan, modern-day Mexico City, is of course where the Emperor Montezuma sits. And Montezuma II, actually, this will be. Hernan Cortez turned up, I think 1519 is when he appeared. So we're a little bit ahead of schedule here, but we are ready to take him out. Not the most successful, well, quite a superstitious emperor, of course. He thought that the might be some of the gods, or the Spanish maybe were messengers of the gods, so he invited them in. And they obviously took him hostage and used him as a puppet emperor. as you do. It wasn't very many men that Cortez took, but Hernan Cortez did not need a huge amount to overwhelm and terrify them. We're going to terrify them with elephants instead. But actually, you might notice down here, I've just got a cavalry army. Yes, I thought this would be a fun way to end things. I've got an army there, the Captain Lupin over here, Lupin Beans as I'm going to call him. Captain Lupin is going to go with all of the natives and march into Tenochtitlan to take it back for them. Yeah, in historical terms, Montezuma was, well, I think the Aztec Empire was at its biggest extent under him, but he was quite badly oppressive, you know, stretched a lot between the nobles and the peasants, and I'm not sure he was too popular with all the other tribes around, so I'm not sure they'd be too disappointed to see it collapse. But there we go. So did anything in particular? Corrupt, embezzler, just another word for corrupt, but a more fun one, I suppose. Wow, some big things on there. Unjust, blissfully ignorant. That one sounds like something to refer to his historical precedent. Yeah, obviously the texts are a little bit awkward with Montezuma because you feel like a lot of them are written afterwards and kind of make it very hard to understand why he made the decisions he did. Perhaps he was just simply as superstitious as we think. But there we are. Let's head in. Let's end it. Machiavelli then giving us the quotes before this final battle. I'll leave it to you, Diapus. Yeah, anytime you're ready, Diapus. Speech.
We have driven the enemy back to his last bolt hole. Now is the time for the last great attack, my brave fellows. Now will your courage be rewarded with final victory. Our army faces a hard fight, Our horsemen must stand idly by while others breach the walls and gain great honor in so doing. And lastly, some think me a hard taskmaster. I say to them, so what? Would you have defeat or victory? I would have victory. That is why I will have my way, and why you will have it too!
Hey, drill master speech. Oh, that's the end. Well, that wasn't too inspirational of an ending, was it? Okay then, here is the city of Tenochtitlan, the Great Lake City. Where's the lake? Oh, come on, guys. That would have just been the icing on the cake. You got this beautiful city here. I'm sure you could have made it slightly more lakey than this. Oh, well, you can't have everything, I suppose. But it would have been nice, wouldn't it, if it was like the proper lake city of Tenochtitlan. Right, we all have our elephants, of course, ready to charge in. But we need to rely on these lads to break down the walls. So, that is what we're going to be doing. I'll get myself set up, and then we can head in. Right, they have a huge amount of men over at that wall because they have the siege equipment, which means that as long as we can make one hole in the wall, we'll be able to have a nice charge in at the city. So elephants, get a little bit closer. As long as you're not in range of the tower, we can just smash that wall down. Right, over on the other side, our allies are ploughing through in a sea of colour and death. It's just magnificent. I've got to start getting my men in through the walls here. That's down to 56%. And there we go. Onto the bridge, dear friends! Onto the bridge! Right, two lads then, head straight into them. Two lads, head straight into them. The Mamluks are getting shots in, and the Genite, honestly, you are just going to pile in. Everyone pile in. And let's send some elephants in as well, because it's fun. Those Aztec spearmen are not going to be happy. Right, elephants, shoot to that tower, why not? Get it deactivated. And all the Genite in the world throwing in javelins. Honestly, lads, all of you just run in. They're going to be overwhelmed. Look at the javelins rain from the sky. Yes. That's just what we want to see. Did we set something on fire? Yes, we set something on fire. Oh, well, we didn't really mean to, but we kind of have that effect sometimes. They're just javelins pouring down their throats. That sounds like a good plan, doesn't it? Okay, where are my elephants? I want my elephants to plough into their bodyguard. This is how this ends, damn it. Ah, the Genite, one of my favourite units. If I do another Medieval 2 campaign, I definitely think I'll be doing Portugal or someone like that. Magnificent little troops, I love them. Yes. Okay, this is good. The elephants have just ploughed through. We completely overwhelmed them at our side. Not really surprising. Elephants, head into the bodyguard. That's what we need. It's a nice picture of the Aztec capital there as we slaughter them with our Caverna elephants. So, let's get all of our Genite over here. And here we go. The elephants ploughing through the general now, and this is what we've been waiting to see the whole time. Elephants ploughing through them. I wouldn't worry about that, sir. I think we've got it at this point. Here we are.
In our favor. If we remain true and wholehearted, victory will be ours.
Yeah, I think the battle is just about done here. The bodyguard can't stand up to this. Where is Montezuma? Let's see him get knocked out by the general himself. By the elephant. There he is! There's Montezuma II. The ninth emperor. He's on the floor. No, he's back up. He's a lot more heroic than the history told us, damn it. There we go. He still keeps fighting. It's just him. Elephant still ploughing at him. Ploughing at his own Genite too. Look at that! He fights him off! Montezuma, sir, you are a hero of your people, but not enough. Was it a javelin in the end? It was a javelin, and I think that is pretty much victory, but we are going to chop them down to the last. Where are they all? Oh, I love a cavalry army. I did this on the last episode of Rome as well. There are some of them just routing up here. Honestly, I'm not going to bother fighting those to the death because I can't. Guess I could shoot them with my Mamluks. Yeah, Mamluks, come over here. Come and shoot these lads. They've been chopped down? No, they're chopped down. They have mostly done their work over here, haven't they? Go and shoot down the last few of those lads. Oh, that was just the way it needed to end. With the lovely backdrop of these magnificent Mesoamerican pyramids here. I hope that's the right term. Elephants, Ginete, and a general who hasn't turned up in time. There we are. He's there. He's taken lead. Ah, Deipus. Ah, Deipus, you great drill master, you. Look upon your palace. No, we continue. Look upon your palace, sir. The anarchy has taken control of all. It is a beautiful, magnificent thing. You can tear down. It's quite a nice colour though, these flags. Tear it down. It has been a great success. Really no thanks to you, in all honesty, but you survived the boat trip and you didn't die in the last battle like the other blokes. So, fair play, mate. Fair play. Look at all my cav. This looks like an imperial kind of palace setup right now, doesn't it? Let's get our elephants over here. One set over here. And one set over here. Oh, this is just lovely. Can my Mamluks get themselves into their positions? Thank you, elephants. And there we go. The timer is about to end. We are just setting ourselves up on the plaza here for our Imperial Parade of Victory. Well done, sirs. The anarchy owes you. And with it, so does the whole world. It is a better place now. Look at this. What an army. What a group of men. And let's go for the last Aztecs. No, we missed him. They will be awed by the victory of the great men of the anarchy. Yes. Victory is ours. What a long and magnificent campaign this has been. I feel so sad. And unlike Rome, there's no epilogue. This is it. This is everything. When I press continue here, we'll head back to the campaign map. And on the campaign map, the game will not let us play on. Every man should arm himself as quickly as he could and come to the king. No, sir. For we now have no king. Unlike a cast of Saraeus, there is no one man who rules. Victory indeed, Deipus. We will occupy. We will occupy. And victory! Once again, the world is a dominant culture. Anarchy! No other realm can come close to rivaling the size, scope or power of your all-conquering empire! Your capital, Constantinople, is the centre of the civilised world. Your visage is imposed on the coin found in either the farthest east or the farthest west. And your family crest, that of anarchy, is the most powerful secular symbol ever. Behold, Caesar, Alexander, Charlemagne, Acass of Saraeus. These are names that will soon be forgotten, apart from Acass. Now you have made their legacy seem petty, and unambitious. May your dynasty and legacy reign eternal. Ah, Machiavelli, the perfect one to sum us up at the end there. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the end of Medieval 2 Total War's Rebel campaign. A magnificent success, I must say. I honestly didn't know if this would work quite as well as the original. There are some advantages to this. You definitely have some stronger holds at the beginning of the game. You can withdraw, so you don't get wiped out even when you're scouting. That's definitely a big boon. And I don't know. I mean, you do get some generals around, don't you? The generals I found a little bit easier than on Rome Total War as well. I don't know. I think all in all, it was a lot easier to swarm them at the beginning. It still was some very tight battles. You really have to get your battles perfect. But a bit like with Rome, you have a great variety of troops you have to adapt to and battle of all sorts, whatever's thrown at you. And I've really enjoyed that. I think that's probably one of the most enjoyable things about these campaigns. But another victory for us, and magnificent. It's a shame that we can't go on to Empire Total War and do the same. in some ways, actually, because obviously they changed the mechanics then, and it's just lots of little factions. But in some ways, actually, Three Kingdoms kind of does have the rebels as the is it the Yellow Turban Rebellion? So in some ways, they are the rebels. But there we go. This relic of old Total War. There are obviously expansions. I'm going to come back to Barbarian Invasion, as I said, and I might want to look at the Kingdoms expansion packs. There's some great stuff on there. Might not necessarily even do the rebels on those. I might do. We'll have a little look. See, some of those are very interesting campaigns. I have one in particular in mind if I can make it work. So I'm going to have a little play around, see if I can get that to work. So keep an eye out for the next Medieval 2. We'll definitely be doing something, either the base game or most likely with the expansions. So very soon we will have ourselves a new campaign for Medieval. We will have Barbarian Invasion back. And I think once we're done with the Federation campaign of Star Trek Armada 2, we will give that a break for a little while before we go into the Klingons. But I think we'll be looking to do something else, possibly something on Rome, as I mentioned earlier. But for now, I will leave you with another great victory for the Anarchy. And since the days of a Cass, who could not be replaced, let's be honest, whilst we've had some great generals in this, I think particularly of Spartacus, obviously, of the early Spartacus, not the later Spartacus, he wasn't very good. The early Spartacus who took so much and ploughed through so many different eras, died halfway through the Mongol invasions, but of no fault of his own, after a great victory. And of course there was El Cid the Chivalrous, the Honourable, no less. He did some great work too. And I'm sure there were many other great generals along the time. And a few who were robbed brutally in the game breaker that was the Venice storm that ruined it. But you know what? We did well. And this will have to be the end. I'm waffling now because I don't want it to end. But alas, it has. Alas, it has to end. We're on to bigger and potentially better things. And actually, I'm very near my 100 subscriber special. So it is ticking up to that. I think 87 on the day of recording here. So yes, we will see just when we get to 100 subscribers. I have something random then. But there we are, with the beautiful music of Jeff Van Dyke leading us off into the dark moonlight of the Aztec Empire. I will leave you. By the way, this piece of music, Amen, is just stunning. Just stunning. Alright, I'm Thomas. This is To Notice the Human, and this has been Medieval 2 Total War's Rebel Campaign. A grand success it has been too. For the Anarchy, I thank you, and I wish you good night. Death and violence will come to you. This is a beautiful, beautiful town, by the way, guys. Let's go and smash it up. Dum tum ti 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 ti. How did you die? What is happening to my men? Steve! He was the one man who tried!